Let's take a look at your Buffout log real quick and see if it shows anything that we can use. I've extracted it here, so let's go ahead and bring this up. All right, let's filter out the Buffout for keywords. Okay, looking at this, I have not had this error before, but looking at this, where it's got FlexRelease, this comes up a lot. In fact, let's do it this way. Now let's go in here and look specifically for. Okay, so this comes up in quite a few instances. And if I go over to the documentation for Buffout 4, where you look where it says if you actually do like a search, so if you go up in your, do like a Control F in your web browser, and you do like FlexRelease, it'll come up and say, NVIDIA specific crash log caused by weapon debris setting in the any config file. So it looks like this might be a couple things actually. So this would be one of the things to look at in your any file. When the game starts up, there's, I believe, 3 configuration files. You have the Fallout 4 prefs, you have the Fallout 4 any, you have the Fallout 4 prefs any, and then you have the Fallout 4 custom any. And the custom any was designed to keep from updating your Fallout 4 and then your Fallout 4 prefs. So these particular settings could be in either. Okay, Fallout 4 custom, good. So technically they could be in either of those any files, the Fallout 4, the prefs, or the custom. But in the custom, try putting this in your any file to turn off weapon debris. Now, this, I got a feeling this is not going to work. I could be wrong because I have a feeling it's something else. But you can try this. This is one thing to try. So we'll try all the things that they're going to list to try, or at least look at them to see if they're something that would be reasonable or make sense to try. Okay, so that would be the first thing to do. Put that in your custom any and save it back, but don't run the game yet. The next thing we want to do is we want to look up, let's look up this Flex, it's called FlexRelease. So, there. Okay, so there's another instance of it. And it looks like up here it might be related to, because it's got, it looks like that it also might be related to using an EMB and not having the EMB set up properly. So I don't know if you're using an EMB, but the way he hooks the game engine is through kind of a fake DLL. You've got graphic appies that are application interfaces to do different types of graphic functions. And I think the way the game is set up, it looks, or the way the system can be configured, it looks for particular DLLs to be local in the same directory as the game. If not, it looks for a global location. So he basically put a DLL file with the same name as one of Microsoft's graphic appies in the same folder as the game. So it loads that, and then he uses that to hook into the graphic calls that go out to the normal graphic appy. So that's what all this proxy and stuff is, to make sure things get routed to the right DLLs properly. He also mentions a space between like full screen, so apparently he mentions some things here. And then, okay, this includes like, okay, now I use looks menu, I use this, and I have not had a problem with this. What he means by a binary search is to disable all your mods except what to like let's say disable everything except the official files, see if it runs, and add them back in one at a time. And that is a total pain. He also talks about overclocking. That could cause an issue. So if you got your system overclocked, you might want to try dropping the clock down, because things might be going a little bit too quick for certain things to keep up, and it's faulting at a hardware level, but the software isn't picking up on the fault, and that's causing it to freak out somewhere along the line. It also talks about a high refresh rate, a physics fix. I have this in my game, which is FPS physics fix. So that would be something to look at too. Okay, so they got, make sure so they got a driver here. You gotta make sure your graphic drivers are updated. Make sure you have a physics fix if you have a really good system and it's driving the frame rates way above 60 FPS. Make sure your motherboard BIOS is compatible with, it's updated for the GPU and all that kind of stuff. If you've overclocked it, drop the clocking down, temporary drop it down, see if that's an issue. Make sure that if you're using an EMB, make sure that's set up properly. And then back to the original one, make sure that, and then try turning off weapons debris and see if that works. Okay, so I hope that gives you enough information maybe to get started. Just good luck with it, and let us know if you have any more problems.